Hello everyone, and we are... Wait, what are we? Preparation... Oh yeah, preparation for university class. And on this live stream tonight, we're going to talk about our graduation project, which is the magazine. I don't see any magazines words up there, but it's a magazine. So we spent the last 15 weeks perfecting this magazine. It's got its ups and downs, but after all, I think we're all proud of how it turned out. So take a look at the cover. It's relatively simple, and as the name suggests, the Hanoiẩn, as your Vietnamese call it, means the hidden aspects of Hanoi. So it took us roughly 3 months to come up with this name, but it's a story to be told later. My bad. As you can see, there are 10 separate articles from 10 students currently sitting literally behind you. And each article represents a unique hidden aspect of Hanoi. So we felt like we need to share this information as individuals and as a group to let people know more about the city that we lived in for 16-ish, 17 years. And we love the city. So it only makes sense if we write about it. Back to the main topic. We're divided into 4 separate departments, which are content, editing, designing, logistics, and the leader guy, Bo. So to kick things off, I would like to invite the content team up here, which is Nya and B. Clap, guys. Okay, so you guys are the content team, right? So we all know that we made this magazine from scratch. And one of the first steps is to correct the very first draft that everybody wrote. So what did you guys do when those drafts were handed to you? And how did you manage to perfect it to this point?
It's hard to say because it's the first time that we ever got to work on a magazine, and we totally have no idea of what to do. So we have the team decided on the topic, which is the hidden gems of Hanoi. It's uniqueness. We're looking for uniqueness, and to find this uniqueness, we need creative ideas from the team members. And I do find that it's a rather hard topic for everyone, since to find something that no one else ever did before, and then to work on it, it takes a lot of effort. Especially when ideas rarely works out the first time you try it. And we receive drafts over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll look at them and it's the first time after all, so we don't have a precise line of what is right and what is wrong. So we work based on our feelings and by referencing to several articles we saw on different magazines.
So were there any point where you felt like really overwhelmed and you basically don't know what to do and you just get stuck in that mess?
Like I said before, the one with the ideas rarely works out. I myself submitted the draft a little bit later than everyone else, since my idea, well, I had the idea, but it's hard to put it into work because, well, yeah, it's pretty hard to phrase it out the way you think it in your head. So I was stuck there a little bit, but I got it, so it's a bit better.
So, yeah, do you encounter the same challenges as B?
I would say yes initially, especially when I had to come up with my topic, and there were also other struggles with contacting the people required to make various interviews and whatnot. But in the end, I decided that relying on my own experiences and knowledge was enough, and I pressed on anyway because we all have struggles, but we need to keep going regardless for the better of everyone else.
So, for which part did you feel like you're most challenged? You're stuck like the hardest?
I would say that I was stuck the hardest on finding the initial information required to build up the foundation for my article, especially since in my mind I had intended to do a few interviews with various people for my topic, but in the end, due to their busy schedules, I couldn't contact a lot of them. So that was one of the biggest hurdles that I had towards writing the very first draft of my article, but things got much better in the end.
So, after experiencing all the writing styles of the people sitting in this room, are there anything that you want to say to them, like any words of affirmation for their great work and for your own great work?
I would, to everyone who is in this team right now, and also to myself, I would say that everyone in this team had extremely great writing styles. Some were a bit more slang, a bit more casual. Others were very sort of academic or more documentary-like. But despite all these differences, they all meshed together really well into this single tapestry of content that is this beloved magazine. I would say almost this child of ours. So everyone here did a really good job, even including myself as someone who doesn't hold a very high opinion of my own work.
What about you, B?
I do think that everyone is unique in the writing style. You, for example, Marnie, you are more on the feeling type, and there was someone who is more technical, like Bo. And I really enjoy all of your writings. And I think that the audience, once they get the hand on the magazine, would also like your writings.
So, I think that's it for the content team. Yeah, let's call it a day. Thank you. Guys! And next up, I would like to invite the one who took responsibility for the Facebook post that you saw, yesterday, and my fellow editor Togang and Chow, the one who wrote the post. Yeah. So you wrote the thing, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so how did you, I know this is your job, but how did you came up with all the ideas that you actually put into the post?
Okay, so it is obviously that you guys see my post that I wrote on the Facebook page of Active Skill, and I'm so proud that I'm have a part of our process to write a magazine. And basically I think that not only the content team but the social media involving that is really important. So I really want to involve our hardworking process, and also our side, our aspect, and also our hobbies and our lifestyle in there. So we have a lot of really rough time to consider how to choose the correct and exactly time to set up our meeting, and also our and also reschedule everything if we have have something wrong and not incorrect in our process. And even besides, we always have to setting up the live stream like we are here, and also one of us many of us have really familiar with the way we live stream about few lessons before, but I think every time is our first time we still have a little bit nervous about it.
Do you have public anxiety? Because I have public anxiety.
Well, I do agree with you.
So personally, I get very interested while reading the post. Okay, this magazine sounds good, I'm gonna grab it. And I'm sure that pretty much everyone here, including the ones watching, how many people are watching both?
A lot.
Okay, more than 2. So, how did you rationalize and put all the ideas in there in a way that can make people so intrigued?
Well, I think that when I start to write the Facebook post, I think that it will be really interesting to the readers and the audience, that they could have a overview from how and why and what we will write about. Even it is nearly done and we will publish it, but I think that if we involve some of our hardworking and also our style concept into it, it will be it will be a new win to involve our new style and our post like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now to my fellow editor with a very considerable height, okay? So, how did you feel when you have to edit all the different styles of writing into one piece of magazine like this?
Well, I've never done this stuff before, so a bit trepidation at the task at first, I guess. But when I actually get to the job, it's actually pretty simple, and the task is pretty straight to the point. So the only thing that was daunting was the actual workload. The process itself is something that I find really easy to get to. So what I do is at first I would just read through it and point out all the mistakes that can be seen from first glance, like the pronunciation, the grammar, the stuff like that, the thing that you can see at first glance. And then I would edit those first. And after I'm done, all that's left to do is the more convoluted and more hard editing, like the wording or the description of some particular part that could have been better. Well, those parts would require more cooperation with the actual writers themselves, because I can't see I can't see through the lens, right? And the description might be a bit clunky and stuff, and it's my job to fix that, but it's not exactly my place to just go in and change up all of their writing like that. So I would still have to get some of their inputs first. So yeah, it's the task at first. It's pretty scary to me because I've never done this before, but after a bit of editing the first few articles, I'm pretty confident now.
So for me, it's as a fellow editor, it's also kind of a hard task to do. I've done editing before, but what I did was basically destroying the whole thing and build it from scratch again. So this time it's kind of different because I have to keep the original ideas. And there are parts that, as you said, the wording and the way that the authors convey their ideas, it's kind of finicky, and it makes sense when you think about it, but it doesn't really make any sense when you actually read it on a paper. And so for that, I had to find a way to, unify all the different writing styles into one, the kind of style that is suitable for the magazine itself, and also for the articles that have dialogues. I had to work with the author, such as in Susie's case, to not translating the actual interview from Vietnamese to English word by word, because it just doesn't sound right. So I felt that, it was pretty challenging. But you did the easy part. You did the grammar, you did the phonetics, you did all that. So I'd say we did a pretty great job as the editors.
Yeah, thank you, fellow unconsiderable height Harvard editor.
Thank you, considerable height editor. And next up, guys, what do we have next up? Oh yeah, the designing team. So personally, I feel like this department is the one with the heaviest workload. And they literally have a one-woman army, which is Susie and her fellow designer, Ling Bi. Please, guys. So, Susie, you were the one who carried the majority of the editing process, right? Like, you did everything from, designing fonts, picking the palette, rearranging pictures and words into, readable articles. So, how do you feel about that process where you do a lot of things? Like, do you get overwhelmed at any point or something like that?
So I have to be honest that this is my first time making a real magazine like this, and I would say that is super overwhelming to me. Since I'm quite familiar with this process, but this experience is a brand new, is really different, and especially how heavy the workload is. For example, choosing the suitable pictures so that can fully illustrate the story and the information that the writer wants to express, and make it become something unique, and then this uniqueness can be expressed through the intention of positioning or combining it with other special features that can make it stand out. And for me, those processes require a lot of creativity, but creativity and inspiration are not always available there for brilliant ideas. So it makes the creative process a lot harder. And another challenging aspects, which is the technical aspects. Once the concept is chosen, it's really hard to turn it into actual work, and for example, I have to pay attention to every unit, like the height, the depth, and the colors, to make sure there will be space for everything without letting any elements to overshadow the others. Mm, for example, one more important thing is choosing the suitable pictures, and some of them are not suitable for the layouts, and then once I have to cut out a motorbike from a frame manually. If I do it with the tool, it may decrease the quality of the pictures.
Please.
Oh, and so I think that with the dedication of Libby and I put in this magazine, it's such an honor for us to have an opportunity to work with you guys, and those appreciation have motivated us a lot.
Thank you. So, Ling B, before you get overwhelmed with schoolwork, you also helped with coming up with the idea of like the overall theme of the magazine, right? And as we can see, it's very harmonizing. The colors, they pair really well with each other. So how did you came up with this palette that applies so well to the overall theme of the magazine?
So I think the inspiration and the process behind conceiving up a process is it's relatively it's a lot simpler than the the technical layout and the work that Susie has to carry, because coming up with themes is something that you need to do on nearly every design, and given the topic, which is Hanoi, it's a really familiar concept, and immediately you can just by the mention of Hanoi, you can visualize the city. You can, as Hanoians, of course, you can visualize the cities. You can see all the colors that fit well nice with it, and all the themes that we need to take into consideration. So okay, so let's talk. It's a bit detracting from the colors, but I think we need to talk a bit about the theme, which it's a bit more general. But the word we kind of looking for was retro, because it's a bit it's like both a nice mix of modernity and antiquity, which is the spirit of Hanoi. You've seen it. There's old quarters next to skyscrapers and things like that. And I think it's also like really easy to have like creative freedom and be innovative with it. As Susie has mentioned, that she tries to create a certain uniqueness with this magazine. Like, it wouldn't be funny if we just took like the corporate style Facebook, Instagram style into the magazine, right? So as for the colors, the main palette that we chose was mostly red and yellow with a bit of beige in there. And these are all okay, this is a bit technical, but these are all like really warm colors, and it's nice to the eyes, and they complement each other well. And also red and yellow is like probably two of the most common colors associated with Hanoi. Like they're both colors on the Vietnam flag for one. And also red is something you see everywhere in Hanoi, from the bricks from the brick, and the red roof, and the flowers that bloom in the summer and things like that. Yellow is also pretty commonly seen in beige as well. It's the color of flowers. It's also the color of most of the walls of the ancient architecture. So yeah, I think that's it for the inspiration behind the magazine.
So you literally took Hanoi and put it into the palette.
Yes, that's the spirit.
And another thing, this one's very personal, but this picture is taken by you, right, Susie? For the cover.
You can say so.
Yeah. So to me, it encapsulates like the feeling, the archaic feeling of, hidden places in Hanoi. Like there's a lot of negative space, technically speaking, and a single spotlight in the middle. So how do you feel about your photo being on the cover and actually represents the theme so well?
Like my first idea when I think to the title, the Hanoiẩn, like which is something hidden inside, and then I was thinking like I wanna capture something which is quite mysterious to the readers, and then a deep alley pops up in my head, and here it goes.
Yeah, it is mysterious. Like all you need is a figure standing there, and it's gonna be a horror movie poster.
Thank you.
No, that's a genuine compliment.
Hopefully it's not someone's house that we know.
Yeah, I think the owner of the house, if they see their house on the cover of a magazine, they're probably gonna sue us, but leave it. That's another story. So thank you, designers, the ones behind all the looks and flares of this magazine. And finally, let's welcome the... Guys, let me finish. Let's welcome the logistics department, the one who took charge of all the, business stuff regarding the magazine, printing, rationalizing the prices and all. And please come up, Hein and Hengling. So, okay, you guys did most of the work behind the curtain, right? You don't get involved nearly as much as all the other departments, but you do most of the work without everybody knowing. And so, how do you genuinely feel about the whole process of working with the magazine in a way that is totally different from the other departments?
Well, I would say that it is my first time doing in this department, so it is a little bit new for me. But like, I think that I have improved like my skills a lot through this, and I think that I have like made an achievement through it, though it's just a work behind the curtains, but it still play an important roles in the whole process of making the magazine. Also, like the logistic team, we are responsible for the work such as printing preparation, the finance negotiation, and also the setup parts. But like I would just focus on the print preparation first. During the process of liaising with the printing companies, we had like some difficulties with the paper material. At first, the printing companies such as us with a type of paper, and then we decided to select it and print it out for the samples. But then it doesn't meet our initial plans, so we had to switch it immediately and find the new alternative printing companies to like that meet our new requirement based on such factors like their capabilities and their abilities to deliver within our timeline. And also, one of the important things is about the distance and their open or close time, because we're all students and we like study all day at school. But basically, most of the printing companies open quite late in the morning, and then they close early in the afternoon at about 5 to 6 p.m., which is the time when we just finish school. And it is hard for us to arrive there to take the samples printing. So it is part of the difficulties. And also, once we have found the secure printing companies, we have to move on to the next steps, which is proceed with the samples and also conduct with a thorough assessment of the paper material. This process, we need to analyzing it carefully because paper, we want to the paper of the magazine make the reader a sense of satisfied, that make them want to delve into it, and also their reading experience can improve better. So yeah, I think through this project I have improved a lot in not only communication skill but still problem solving skills, not only communicating with the printing companies but also with my team members for some tasks that I've have never done before, and also to solve the problems and think for the solutions to solve it immediately.
So you said that the printing press, they work in a different time zone compared to school schedules, right? So how do you manage to actually work with them? Do you just skip a few lessons and go there?
No, we have to contact with them. We have to arrange the time. If we can't go there during the lunch time, and we have to ask them for printing it first, and then we just go there to take the samples. So it would be much easier for both two of us, our team and also the companies.
There is some difficulties because if you guys order, they will print it first, and when they deliver it to us, we cannot directly test the printing material, which is really important because we need to change it certain times. We don't actually know a lot about printing, about paper material. It's because a lot of problems during this project, and it's even cause more difficulties for us because we are not at that printing company. We cannot try it. We cannot change it on time. So if the printing material is not satisfied, we need to contact them again, print again, then deliver it again, which is time consuming.
So are there any other major difficulties that you encountered, or just printing materials?
So in our department, Ling is mainly work on the logistic, the printing stuff, and it's also have another field, is financial field, which is I mainly work on it. And I have certain experience before on logistic and finance department, which is also the reason why I choose to participate in that one. I think almost project that I've done at active skill gives me a lot of chance to try it and have a skill in planning, preparing, so which is really vital for logistic and finance department. Our main task are printing, like Ling has said before. Also, we need to talk to our parents to call for contribution, like money.
Fundings.
Yeah, funding to money to print our magazine. Because not only one edit, there are a lot. So this process is a little bit complex and need a lot of time. Also, we need to negotiate with the printing company to have the most affordable price, and that is actually my weakness. But with that experience, I've like improved my skills when I can communicate with the supplier, and also to the negotiation skills to get the most affordable price. And there are a lot of difficulties during our process. We're all on the exam period, which like everyone really busy. We don't have a lot of time, and it also lead to a slower process than I expect. So actually, the logistic and finance department don't have a lot of time to deal with this stuff. And you remember the meeting with Miss No and Bo for planning for the live stream? Yes.
Oh yes, like at that time we all got panicked because like the work were actually much more than we had expected to be, because we are like the logistic team have to understand clearly understand about like the setup parts. Like we have to prepare for the backup plans, and also like the process of it to make it flow easy. And at that time we got panicked, right? Yeah, because there was so much work to do, and the time we have left is just so short.
And there's some misunderstanding between team members. At that meeting, it's not only like logistic stuff. Also, we have some skill related to planning. Backup plan. Some like risk assessment if there are any problems during the live stream. So there are a lot of lessons after this magazine project, especially when this is the first time I actually do a magazine. I don't know its staff and a specific process that I need to complete a magazine. Even that I've worked in finance and logistic department before. And there's the lessons that I've gained, which is really valuable, is that I need to call for help on time, like for Miss No and Miss Lian, because there's a lot of experience on that field. They has different perspective. They can give us advice, which can support our process quickly. And also, we need to get the approval from parents and IT skill to get the final product, the final magazine. This process will be quicker and also more effective if I communicate with Miss No and Miss Huen on time and earlier. So when I realized that, after we sit together, have the short meeting, communicate with each other, and find the suitable solutions, that process is much quicker. And actually, there's an interesting moment when I find the printing company that I actually need like 15 minutes to find the printing company. And when I come to contact with the person that I negotiate with, it's nearly like close. The printing company is a little bit confused, but then everything's get done. And also that person, she look about our magazine, and she say, "Wow, that is really amazing! Like, what is the project? What is about?" And at that time, actually, I'm really proud of what our teams have done, their effort, and also commitment with the project to have the best edit that we can. And thanks to IT skills, we have the opportunity to try to make mistake, but also can gain a lot of lessons from that experience. We got a lot of like valuable advice from Mr. Owen, from Ms. Snow, from Ms. Hyan, and it's not only help in that project, but for like in the future, a lot of practical skill and lessons that I can use for other project. And I think if I have a chance, I would rather to try my hand at another field, maybe like content or edit, although that is my weaknesses. But actually I can step out of my comfort zone and also have more experience on different field.
So thank you. That was a lot to take in, but I believe you guys did a good job. So we have the printing ready, right? It's like in the near future. And last but not least, let's not forget about our supreme leader for the project, Mr. Mo.
Hello. That was quite an awkward introduction. But well, the road we have come so far, I'm very proud of it.
So, as the leader of this whole thing, I know you've had rough times. You were literally crying in the bathroom at one point. So, how do you feel when things turned out like this?
Obviously, I'm very proud. Obviously, it's the very first thing I can say. But seeing my product like this, well, it's one of the things that I really enjoy too. Like looking back at the progress, like what we have done so far throughout the last 3 months, our ups and downs and everything. It was truly one of the journeys that I've never been on before. From being elected as the leader of a very, let's say, talented group, where everyone has their own speciality, and some people are better me at their own fields, and it's just very mesmerizing when I look back at how I got elected and how I guided people to this very spot today. And
so, as the supervisor of the entire thing, of course you'll have to work with all 4 departments, which is basically 4 times the workload. What carried you through it? Like, are there any source of motivation?
Oh, well, there are 2 main sources of motivation, I'd say. The very first one was like me, myself. I actually like being under pressure, because like when I'm not being under pressure, I don't have any motivation to do anything, and I'll actually slack off. I play video games for 8 hours a day. I have literally nothing to do, and literally every other things that relate to me gets like my skills on literally everything else. When there's no pressure on me, it decreases everything, like my grades at school, my ability to communicate with people, my ability to understand people, not just the skills that when I work with people, but also individual soft skills that I have. It always deteriorates when I have no pressure on me, and I slack off, I do random things, useless things, and I harm myself more than. So basically, I'd say I'm addicted to pressure, and you can say that I'm a masochist for enjoying being under pressure too. And another motivation for me to do this project is the very topic that we chose, which is the hidden aspects of Hanoi. I think that it's a very valuable topic, because not only for me, but not only for all other people, but also for our group and me myself. For other people, I think that it'll be sort of like a guide to exploring Hanoi and actually enjoying city in a more special way. And also, it also creates an environment for my friends, my classmates to actually explore Hanoi on their respective topics. Like for example, Bonnie, right? You can you move to the cartel contents slide? Scroll down.
Yeah.
You chose the they call it the old cars nights, right? I remember it was being you going out at 2 a.m. at the old cars and actually to research for this article. Well, it's I think it's a very interesting thing to do, and it's sort of like every other topic too. People are actually going out and exploring Hanoi in their own way, and that also applies for me too. I also I explored Hanoi. I went. Basically, I went everywhere. I tried to find information for my topics, and it was a very enjoyable process.
Okay, this disclaimer, Mom, I didn't sneak out at 2 a.m. Don't trust him. And as the leader, the face of the whole team, the one literally behind this magazine, behind all of us, are there anything that you want to let the readers know about, what's coming up next?
Oh, a very thing that I want to mention is the name of the magazine. Can you move back to the cover? Oh yes, the name, the Hanoiẩn. Right, so back at the start, Marty did mention that the name took us 3 months to actually come up with. Oh, yeah, that's true. The name has been brought up since the very first day when we started working for the magazine, but but our class principal, which is not having the class silent at any times, so thinking of the name at class is actually not very viable.
Yeah,
so
we suck at thinking names.
yeah, and so I told everyone to go home, think about the name at home, but the name a very sounding name is I think is for everyone. It's very
subjective.
Yeah, it's very subjective and it's very hard to think of.
And we came up with some pretty goofy names at first.
Goofy, I'd say corny instead of goofy.
Yeah.
Like what?
Chanoi?
Oh my god, what was that? And yeah, it was very corny. We spent very little time on class discussing about it, but we spent a lot of time at home thinking about it, like during shower or even doing basically. I myself, right? I think about it when I shower or before sleep. Okay. And there was one occasion, right? I was thinking about the name of the magazine and actually fell asleep to it. And I tried it again next evening, and I actually fell asleep too. So that's a new thing I can do when I try to go to sleep. Well, it's a very tough tough task to do, and like 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
I brought it up to class, and it was actually the name, the Hanoiẩn. Everyone accepted it, but the story behind the name, this name right here, or it was not really my name, like
the name that you came up.
Yeah, it was not me who came up with it. Like so I when I go to school. Like we had a free period at school, and I am desperate for a name. Like I started thinking for like 30 minutes or so, and I still can't click for like a very sounding name in my head. So I'm quite desperate at the time because we're running very short on time too. So I decided to go with my last resort, which is asking one of my classmates who was sitting behind me. Well, she was a very talkative person, and she talks a lot to other people. So I think that she might come with like a very good name. Well, I was right, and she came up with a name in like 30 seconds or so. Yeah, the task which took us like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months was accomplished by one person in 30 seconds. I was flabbergasted. It was too funny to not to mention. Yeah, that's basically a funny story from the magazine. I want to.
Originally, when you told us about the process of you thinking it yourself, I thought the name came from one of your shower thoughts or one of your dreams.
Yeah, the name from my shower thoughts are actually corny. It was left in the long list of names that was in the forgotten pit.
You remember what it was?
It was probably like the land of the forbidden or something.
Yo, you speak like it's from a video game. Like that's the thing you encounter in Zelda.
Oh yeah, but it sounds good to me, but apparently not to other people. So, well, there's another thing that I want to mention actually. The making process of this magazine also helped me learn and understand other aspects of the people I'm in class with. Like, take for example, me and Mia, there are content teams,
Members.
content team members. Well, at class they are rather quiet, and they tend to talk about very dark topics. But well, as a content team member, they prove to me that they are a very capable individual that has the ability to critically think about how each content would appeal to the audience, or for our editing team, like to Ang and our host right here. At class they are very goofy. Like, I enjoy talking with them, and they bring up very funny topics at class. But when it comes to editing work, they are very sophisticated, and they go very in depth with each paragraph and articles. And for our design team, Lingby and Susie, at class they are, well, it's a bit negative, but they are not really. They don't really stand out from everyone. But when we start working, and their talent really shines there, they design what we have, and we're all very pleased with it. As also for Hang and Kang Ling, they are both also quiet, but they are very professional, and they get a lot of work done in a very short time. As they have mentioned, they work under a lot of pressure, but everything seems to be perfect. Well, because of it, I want to set my gratitude to all my team members, and well, I'm very proud of you all for making this magazine today. And I also enjoy seeing your different faces and different sides, your different abilities too.
And finally, so let's trace back a bit. When we first started the project, none of us worked on a magazine before. I mean, I did, but it was just articles, and I did like literally none of the editing and all that. So we must have like a guideline, something like a road to lead us through the whole process. And we have Mr. Owen. The man behind the departments.
Yeah.
The final boss of the magazine.
I'm easy mode, man. But it's fascinating that you say that, because you said that you had never worked on a magazine. No one had ever read a magazine, which is amazing to me. It's sort of like, a throwback to vinyl that's cool now, magazines are back. But yeah, it's really amazing to hear everyone talk about their experience, because my experience was so different. Because, like, as a teacher, I'm not telling you guys what to do. I didn't tell you how to make a magazine. My role is to guide you towards the right answers. And sometimes that meant going harder, sometimes that meant going softer, letting you all make mistakes. But when you're all freaking out, going, oh my god, I'm so stressed, I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, I'm looking at everyone thinking, oh my god, they're so amazing, they're smashing it. So it's that juxtaposition, that split between, I was having a great time.
We all had a great time.
Yeah, I was really just so impressed the whole time. I think my most common reaction when someone would say, oh, is this okay? Is this good? I'd be like, yeah, do it. Like, it was that simple, It really was a joy to work with everybody and to see the unique skills and that push and pull of how involved should I be, which was from the start before the project began. I knew I wasn't going to be very involved. I wanted to give you guys the rope to run with, and you all nailed it. You all proved me right, of course.
We went on the correct course.
Absolutely, yeah. There was a little alignment sometimes, and I don't know if you guys noticed it or not. There was one or two definite. There was a great moment one night where somebody, it was in our work chat basically, and they were like, I can't do this, and I just went, yes you can, and they were like, oh yeah, I can. It's stuff like that.
Instant dose of motivation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Just go hard and go, yeah you can. Shut up, do it. And they're, okay. And that was amazing. I love that moment. Really stuck with me because sometimes the motivation you need is just someone saying, you're good, don't worry, So it was really cool to be that guide and sort of support system if you needed me. Not like some of you didn't need me at all, which, cool, easy job for me. That's great. But yeah, it was amazing.
So, how do you feel when you actually see the magazine come into shape, step by step?
Yeah, it's really amazing. I think some decisions were made very early that just set the tone for the rest of the project. The design team very quickly knew what it was. They had a picture in their minds of what it was. Articles, people have mentioned, it took time for them to come together, but the seed was planted early. It was going to be this. You knew what you wanted to do. Bo knew, everyone knew, I'm going to write about this. And you look at the contents of the thing, which will be revealed next week at the launch party properly. But you look at it and it feels like a whole. It's not a collection of 10 essays or 10 pieces. It is a magazine. And very early on, I knew that was going to be the case. We had some hard-hitting stuff. We had some serious, important stuff. We had fluffy, fun stuff. We had everything among the 10 people. And then, having the social media side of things covered by one person, which is incredible. Logistics, I was never worried that it wasn't going to happen. And you guys were, but I wasn't, because I was looking at who was involved. When I look at the editors, when I look at all of the people, and I'm like, yeah, you've got this. You're going to do this.
And we actually got it.
You did, and the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is that, and it will be a physical object, by next week. The proof is you did it. That proves you can.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Owen. Yeah. Thank you for guiding us.
Thank you all for making my job very easy. This is awesome. It's great.
And finally, as Mr. Owen have said, this doesn't end until we have a tangible physical object to touch. And of course, he mentioned about a proper launching party next week, in which we'll have solid copies of the magazine on sale! Yay! Thank you everyone for staying in tune with us for the live stream tonight. Have a good evening!
Yay! Thanks, Johnny!